You know what? Since I'm here, Necroval on my Patreon just made a year-long pledge, so I just want to thank Necroval for making this stream possible. Thank you so much, Necroval. I don't know if you're out there. I don't know where you are, but wherever you are, you're incredible. You're a beautiful, horrifying, dark ghost. You're the only thing saving me. You're pulling me out of the abyss. You've got some sort of horrifying skeletal face. There's a little bit of flesh on there. Just enough flesh to make you, like, not just a raw, regular skull, which is pretty normal and nothing to be afraid of. Like, there's just enough on there to make you really, really scary. Thank you, Necroval. Hi, someone. Hi, Jason. Alright, let's draw some stuff. There's also a name and characters that I cannot read there, but hello to you. Okay, we're gonna poke at this, a bit of that, maybe a little bit of that. To formulate a plan on a bunch of this. Oh, Necroval, incredible that you happen to be in here right after making that Patreon subscription. Thank you so much. I'm humbled by your support. Thank you. Do I need any of this? That does not have the updated up left corner. Process stuff. Yeah, let's just, I'm just gonna merge it all down. So that's alright, let's draw. Let us get to drawing. We're getting going nice and early here. Is the least I could do as a thank you for helping me get back into art after badly neglecting for what feels 14 years. Oh, it's equal thanks, I suppose, then. I'm happy to have been part of your journey at all, truly. I'm glad that you're getting back into it. Thank you, Zane. Hello, Ali. Hello, Zane. pen and tablet, I sure do. Everybody does. Basically everybody who does digital painting style art, they use one. I don't know anyone who uses a mouse. I don't think I ever knew anyone who used a mouse. Everybody uses a graphics tablet. Everyone I know who did digital art with a mouse, they were only doing that while they were confused. It wasn't once they knew they could get a graphics tablet. The cheap ones these days are perfectly adequate. The cheap ones these days are better than the old pro ones, so they're perfectly good. Hello, Saman. Hi, John B. Not much is up. Just cleaning up some old stuff. I taught the first day of my October workshop on Wednesday. That went well, I thought. I've got the Saturday class today in a few hours, and I am dog sitting my in-laws' dog, so my dog walking schedule is all messed up, and that's about it. What do you think of Andrew Loomis? He's great. I've copied his figure drawing for all it's worth, cover to cover, twice, I think. Good stuff in there. I don't draw that way anymore. Like, I don't use his methods when I draw or anything, but I've definitely been influenced by that. Back in the day. Hey Steven, as a freelancer, do you only design things? Do you animate stuff? What kind of service do you offer as an artist? I've done basically every kind of thing. I don't do animation. I've never been hired to do animation. I'm a still images guy, but I do all sorts of stuff. And over the years, I've done just about everything in a freelance capacity, but usually I'm only designing things. I very rarely illustrate. For a lot of my design work, I only draw the thing, and then someone else takes it and someone else takes it and then paints it or colors it or finishes it, however it's got to be done. Thank you, Arturas. Thank you for the kind words. Wow, Sven, that's crazy to hear. Watching for over a year. Well, happy to hear from you. Thanks for watching. May your drawings go well. I'm gonna see if we can turn this off. I have a good breeze coming in through this window. If you get hot, just let me know. Thanks, Enzo. This is one of your favorite pieces of mine? Well, thank you. Oh, doggy. You wouldn't dare. Nope. Don't. You don't need to be that kind of a dog.
It's okay.
You can choose to be any kind of dog you want.
What? No. Shh.
I get the feeling the way I had that arm is just going to make things hard for me, so I'm just repainting it from scratch. Yeah, that's going to be happening for a bit, the dog thing. I'm dog sitting that dog. She's not used to all of these sensory inputs from the area that I live in, so she's a little freaked by everything. When recommending good digital artists to learn from, people recommend people like Craig Mullins or Jamie Jones, who have the least social media presence. How are they so popular among artists? Well, a lot of the people that you're getting recommendations from were in like my generation and my cohort. We're like around the same age and things like that. And those two particular artists that you listed were like from the cohort before my peers and stuff like that. And in our world, they were super popular, but we were in a pre-social media world. So they got very popular on sites like conceptart.org, Sigin, pre-ArtStation, ArtStation precursor, CG Hub, and things like that. So you're just getting the, you're getting sort of the recurring echo from that. But I think I saw Jamie pop up on Twitter again very recently for some NFT stuff that he's trying to do. It seems that got him made him decide to jump out of obscurity. So you'll probably see them. Someone with work of Jamie Jones's quality cannot post for long before they're very popular. So I'm sure that will straighten out pretty soon. Any media recommendations? You're reading Berserk? I just started reading Berserk a couple weeks ago, so I don't have anything new to recommend. You've probably played Bloodborne. I don't know. My media consumption has been a little low lately. I've been very busy, so I don't have anything fresh and hot to recommend. Bless you. Anatomy books that worked for me. It depends what you're trying to do with anatomy at that stage. If you're trying to learn anatomy, you'll probably check out Ray Bustos' book, Ray's Anatomy, because he's the one who taught me, but I haven't actually picked up his book yet, because I was like, well, I think being able to pick his brain firsthand for 2 to 3 years was probably not anything in the book I haven't sat through multiple times. I'm probably wrong about that, but I can generally recommend Ray's Anatomy just from knowing how Ray teaches his material. That'll be very clear. But it's hard to say what book will teach you anatomy super well, because it depends on what kind of learning type you have. Like, for example, I quite like Hogarth, but most people bounce off of him because they think they're supposed to draw like him. So if that's going to get in your way, Hogarth's not going to work for you. For reference, I always recommend Frank Delaviere's Strength Training Anatomy. That's my favorite anatomy reference book, but it will not teach you anatomy. Different anatomy books do different things. I always have strength training anatomy somewhere nearby. I am very much at the beginning of Berserk. I like just started the Golden Age. But I know there's a lot of, you know, I'm reading it because I know there's a lot of great beasties, you know. I've definitely looked at them just in isolation before on Google image searches, and, you know, I decided to give it a swing because so many people were telling me I would love all the beasties in there, so. I've seen Stonehouse's anatomy, but I haven't looked into it in depth or anything. I think I'm gonna put on my old man badge and say I'm probably done with that kind of thing. The like teaching you anatomy books. It's like I spent years and years on that stuff. It's fun, it's super fun, but I think it's time to commit to being in the part of my life where I need to make pictures instead of worrying so much about studying. So I'm probably not going to go back to a traditional anatomy book anytime soon or look at any of the new ones. I think if you deep dive on just a couple of them, that's probably enough, you know. I deep dove into Paul Reicher, Elliot Goldfinger, Bridgman, if you can count that as an anatomy book, Stephen Rogers Peck. Yeah, I deep dove into several of these straight up hardline anatomy books. Any advice for artists in high school? Just cultivate your love for drawing, I would say. when I was in high school, I had begun doing some focus skill training work. Oh. So close. I was hoping he was gonna hit something, that loud bastard. When I was in high school, I was doing some focus skill training work at that point. I had started working on my anatomy and things like that. But I went too hardline because I had no guidance. I got too obsessed with improving skills and things like that. Got too obsessed with improving skills and things like that, and it made me susceptible to being blown off course later on, soon after high school. It sure gained me skills, but it messed with my mind. It made me make some stupid decisions for years, shortly after. So I would, like I said, focus on cementing your uncompromising love for just drawing and making the kind of art that you want to make so that you can't be blown off course later. Thanks, Janosch. How are you? Yeah, we're streaming around here a bit lately. We gotta spread the keep drawing gospel. Not watch UFC. body do you hate drawing most? I don't think I hate drawing any part of the body. I think if there's a configuration I hate drawing the most, I hate drawing sexy women the most. I'll take a rotting, fetid corpse any day. This is Photoshop. Photoshop. There's some part of me that respects that these people with extremely loud motorcycles and muscle cars are so into it that they're up at 9 a.m. on a Saturday to drive around in it. Like, at least they're not lazy about it. At least they get out of bed early to wake up my whole neighborhood. Your live stream somehow helped me with my degree that I hate, product and furniture design. That's awesome. Happy to be of service. Oh, come on. Don't encourage that pup too much. She's gonna want that all the time if you treat her that way. I know, she's cute. Alright. Just don't let her put her butt on my pillow. The roosters of urban life. I was just thinking about that. That's funny that you thought the same thing as me. I was just in my head thinking, yeah, they're like modern roosters, waking up the whole town. Yes, I do use a tablet. Don't worry, your friends in the chat will educate you on the benefits of tablet use. Nah. It would be kind of fun, but there's just no need to make something so different in the middle of the picture there. I bet you do love drawing silence. I bet you do. Steven, if From Software approached you to help them design a Souls-like game in the future, would you accept it like any other design job, or would you be enthusiastic about it because you like the game? I'd of course be enthusiastic about it. But I don't know. I think From is pretty close to the chest. I think they just have like their very internal team. From what I understand, or from what I've seen, it's all Japanese artists who are kind of outside of our typical circles. Like, I don't know anyone who's ever worked for them or talked to them, so. I think they kind of already have a crew that they like. I don't think they're out there hunting for dark or weird artists or anything like that. But I know you were asking in a totally hypothetical. Of course, yeah, I'd be super enthusiastic. I'm not some stoic freak who would be like, it's just another job. Don't get your hopes up. I mean, I got into these industries because I liked cool things, so. Jesse, I'm not gonna give you any shekels. Stop asking for shekels. You're not gonna get them. Should just like redo this one. Not redo it, but I should just trace it down to line art and recolor it from scratch. But that would make it a very different kind of painting, then it wouldn't look impressionistic. chill music? You have Lofi Girl to thank for that. Thank you, Lofi Girl. Thank you for your courage. Truly, thank you, Lofi Girl. Is there any other so deep and varied a library of music that's free for use for streaming? I don't know. It's just ready to go. They're doing excellent things over there, Lofi Girl. Having trouble with colors, do you have any suggestions? That's a really hard question because it really depends on where you are in your journey. I think for most beginners, you should always have reference for color, and you should spend a lot of time breaking down that reference to yourself. That's what's best for most beginners. I don't think it's a good idea for beginners to ever really like make up a color palette or not have a photograph that's in a similar lighting situation or in a similar value range, like all that stuff. Like, because as a beginner, you don't understand how value is color and color is value, and the nature of color is determined by the science of the lighting environment in a space. So there's just like no chance for a beginner to invent that from scratch. You should always be ripping off either a photograph or another artist or just something good. And don't feel guilty about that, because everything that you love that's made in a studio, everyone is always just has something open that they're looking at, they're ripping something off, they're putting something right into their picture that they're working on to make sure that the colors are right, they're color picking from it like crazy. Everything that you already love is already made that way, so don't worry about that. Just don't steal anything. There's different suggestions once you're advanced that I can make once you've been working with color for a long time, but for most beginners, just you should always have some as close as you can get to one-to-one reference. Well, at least she's happy. At least she's happy. We'll just permanently commit that to the stream record. I'd say she's got like another 40 squeaks before it exits the cute stage and enters the aggravating stage. Uh-oh. My dog did not like that. My dog's growling at her like, it is 9:20. You're squeaking too loud. That was Winnie growling? Oh, I'm sorry, Fanny. I shouldn't have thrown you under the bus like that. What do you think about giving away art for free? As a present, I mean, without taking money for it. I don't mean you in specific, but just your general thoughts on that. I mean, I think that's very kind. I mean, yeah, I would never do it. Ever. No matter what. Like, you got enough drawn Mother's Day cards, Mom. I know you're listening, Mom. I hope you know those are done. I can't leave a track record of bad work, Mom. My pictures take way too long. No free Mother's Day cards for you. But for anyone else who can afford to do it, I think it's very kind. But yeah, I'm assuming you mean like for friends and family and things like that. That's so sweet. That's hyper sweet. Never give anything to a client for free or to a stranger for free. Ever, ever, ever. 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 There is a greater war larger than you going on with the worth of art. And you fight for the enemy every time you give something away for free. Sound like a bird. What's the name of the bird? That was the dog that I'm dog sitting. That's Winnie. My dog's name is Fanny. I know. It's a little on the nose. Winnie and Fanny. Those are their real names. The essential brushes to recreate the painting you're working on? I mean, I do the vast majority of my work with the hard round in a hard version and a soft version. I use just a random texture brush when I want textures like that. Anything that leaves, I mean, that's a very simple pattern and it's low res, right? Anything that just leaves some sort of dotty thing like that in general. And then I use a streaky looking brush to get areas like I use the mixer brush with a streaky brush like this to get areas that look like that. And that's it. That's really the only 4 moves I pull when I'm doing a painting like this. Very simple. I honestly always regret, usually come to regret using the texture brushes and stuff like that. Because I can really only easily finish stuff that is tight and where I make my textures by hand. And if I use texture brushes early, it basically guarantees I won't ever finish the painting, unfortunately. I actually need to, I often have an argument with myself where I remind myself of the painful truth that I should stop using texture brushes entirely because they're hurting my output. But I still can't resist. But it depends what kind of artist you are. If you do more impressionistic work, if you have an easier time finishing impressionistic work, then that's not a big deal. But I don't. It's almost impossible for me to finish something impressionistic. My brain doesn't work that way. I can really only finish stuff that is rendered looking, lifelike looking, very formy. I really admire artists who can get a glistening finish out of impressionistic stuff. It's just not the way my mind works. When will the Art of Steven Zapata book be available? The realistic answer is I have no... I don't know. I don't think about doing that much. The when it would be possible answer is I don't know. Maybe when there's around... The problem with books is that you need to have enough capital up front to print them. And if you're just an independent whoever, they are super expensive to print and they take a very long time to print. And you need to be able to like negotiate with print shops in China and stuff like that. So if it was ever going to happen, it'd probably be around when the channel has like 200,000 subscribers or something like that. And that probably means there's some reasonable install base to do something like a Kickstarter to raise the capital, and then we could print the book. That's just my practical minded answer, but yeah, because I know that that's how that stuff generally works, I don't actually have any real plans for that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yep, Craig Mullins is a good example. Yep. Yeah, like for me, this painting is too impressionistic for me to finish, quote unquote, properly, the way that I like it. Like I was saying before, if I had the time, I don't have the time to do this for this piece, but if I had the time and I needed to finish it, I would actually just use this as the plan and I would trace it and get down to clean lines, and then I would recolor it completely and render it tight. That would be the only way I could reasonably finish this. But realistically speaking, I just don't... I've never been able to take something that starts this impressionistic and get it to a glistening finish. That's not, at least the level of finish that I like. I just can't do it. It's all too... There's too much to clean up already. It recedes eternally, the finish line. But that doesn't mean I can't fix glaring open spots. Like you saw how this started. It was like, this was nothing, right? That was just a few big blobs. So I can do a little bit of development on areas like that, and that'll push the painting far, or push the painting further, but I can't like transform something that's this murky into something that looks super tight. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my experience, my background. I don't know. Maybe it's something that my mom said to me when I was a little kid. Maybe one day I broke a window with a baseball and my mom sat me down in a quiet room and she was like, Steven, I need you to understand that you shouldn't be finishing pictures in an impressionistic way. The Academy doesn't like that. And you'll never be able to show in the École des Beaux-Arts. You must always finish tightly with a glass surface and a glistening finish if you want to gain the respect of the presidents and chairs of the committee, such as Bouguereau and Waterhouse. Do you understand, Iho? I'd be like, yes, mother. She's like, okay. maybe that affected me as an artist. Yeah, Flaptrap's Richard Anderson would be an example of the impressionistic style. Yeah, I can't finish stuff like that. I can't tell when it's finished. You know, I'm like, it just it never achieves for me. And then to make it quote unquote achieve, I quickly start putting things in there that are beyond that level of finish that make the picture lose balance. All of us dream in that day that we would be really good. Steven, do you have that feeling of accomplishment in that sense? Nope. I mean, I know I have become quite skillful, right? But honestly, knowing what I'm capable of only makes me want more than before. So it's only getting worse, that feeling of like wanting to be good and be better, because some amount of that has been achieved. I know I'm the kind of person who can achieve that. So then I look at the stuff that I thought was impossible 10 years ago and I'm like, all right, we got to do twice that, you know? So it only gets worse and worse. Hi, Alvin. I am doing well. I hope you are doing well as well. Well. You still do sitting meditation? Yep. Do it less than I used to. I think I've just come to accept that yes, if I sit and meditate for 20 minutes, I will experience some extremely deep, life-defining peace. And it's like, all right, we know that's there. There's a lot of other things in life too, so I'm trying to, I feel like I'm trying these days more to bring that peace into being with stress and being with uncertainty. It's like I'm less interested in carving out a period of inactivity to feel that, and more just I'm in that pendulum swing where I'm like, let's bring this out into daily life. I'll release an art book someday. There seems to be some considerable interest. Just not right now. It's very expensive to print a book. Very, very expensive. So it'll have to wait until we can be confident that the margins are right. I wouldn't want to try to like reach for it and then like just barely achieve it and then have something go wrong and then I like can't fulfill the orders or something like that. Like stuff like that happens all the time, even with very, very popular artists. So I don't want to get stuck in that I don't want to get stuck in that situation. I wouldn't want to screw people over like that. What brushes do you use? You should check out Ahmed Al-Duri's brushes. That's most of the brushes that I use. Someone in the chat will link you. Everybody knows Ahmed. I don't just like release my brushes because I've paid for a bunch of them and I can't remember which ones it is, so I don't want to redistribute them because I'd wind up stealing in there somewhere accidentally. But with Ahmed's basic brush pack, you can get any result you might want. Yep, lots of artists use primarily graphic shapes. If you need reference for that, just look at like unrendered concept art of like stylized characters and stuff like that. That's probably a good starting point for reference. Just look for something that's only flat colors, no shading. That's all just graphic shapes right there. How long did you spend working on this piece so far? I don't remember. I think I did the original version in like I think I got to here in like probably, it was like 2 sittings, maybe 3. It's probably like 2 or 3-hour sittings. So it's probably like 6 to 8 hours. And now I've put in, how long have I been sitting here? Another hour and 20 minutes. That's just my guess. I don't really remember anymore. If you really wanted to know, you could go back in the YouTube archive to the video that this one illustrates. I forget which one it is. Is it the most important skill for an artist? Maybe? And you can look at my clock in the top right of that time lapse and figure out exactly how much time I spent on it. Well, not exactly, it'll jump around, but you'll see like the dates and the general time spent. Which brush should I use as a beginner? It looks like my drawings are too flat. That has nothing to do with the brush. If your drawings look flat, you need to understand form. Go learn about form. Form is often best done with just the soft airbrush and the hard brush. That's what I use to make form. Which brush should I use to draw DBZ characters every time I end up with Naruto characters? Yeah, you need to buy my DBZ character brush pack. That's the best, most efficient way to get to DBZ characters instead of Naruto characters. It's the same brush pack that all the pros use to make DBZ characters instead of Naruto characters. You got your Vegeta brush, you got your Son Goku brush, you got your Gohan brush, Android 18 brush. Yeah, just check it out on my Gumroad, or search Steven Zapata DBZ brush pack on Google. If you get it on sale, it's only like $400. Which, for anyone who thinks that's expensive, like, don't forget, if you have this brush pack, you're ready to draw professional DBZ manga. So, obviously, like, $400 for a lifelong job is like, that's really nothing. pretty funny, but I don't think it's right for an emaciated hell being. Not gonna lie. Pretty yummy little rumpus on that guy. I don't think it works for the milieu. Just a little much. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, you know. Squats 500. Hell demon. Squats 500. Hell demon. Sounds simple. Enjoy your drawing shot, enjoy your drawing. Alright everybody, I'm gonna hop off of here in about 8 minutes or less. My wife's gotta do her office hours for her class, and then I've gotta teach my class. So if I can be of use to you in these last few minutes, let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. What class are you teaching? My October workshop. My October drawing workshop. Got that in a couple hours. It's basically a art school style studio class. 5 long hours of discussing art and people doing their projects and getting group feedback and crit and stuff like that. Nope, never done much dragon drawing. If you need help with any part of a particular anatomy of a creature like that, just base it on some real animal. That's always the way to go. Base it on the limb of a bat, or a weird bird, or an ostrich, or something like that. Thanks, Fizzy. I guess now that I think of it, I have done dragons for work before, but they were already designed. They were pre-designed, so I didn't have to grapple with any of that kind of a thing. I find a lot of pondering and resistance when starting a drawing session. Do you have advice for resolving or thoughts or pondering? I don't need a method or anything. I believe that my entire YouTube channel is based on answering that question. So I would just dive into the back catalog of my YouTube videos, not my streams. But my YouTube videos are like 80 very thought out, scripted videos. Most of them are very precise on tackling a particular issue of rumination and neurotic thinking in the art practice. So just go check those out, I'd say. I don't know, Labzor. I don't keep up with fights. I like their names, though, I'm assuming those are boxers or UFC people or something like that. Their names make them sound like they are archetypal forces of nature, which is probably very appropriate for people who break other people's noses for a job, for a living. Now that's some nominative determinism if I've ever heard of any. My issue is composition and overthinking. I try to avoid the cliche angles, but I end up not making anything. Yeah, you're not avoiding cliche angles, you're avoiding being creative. That's all it is. In art, any decision or mental system that is keeping you from making pictures is the wrong choice. It doesn't matter how noble or smart or thoughtful it feels. And anything that is making you make pictures is the right choice. The most common crippling problem for artists of this generation is that they have an extremely hard time just making the things they think they want to make. You would be lucky if you finished anything with a cliche angle. The problem is making anything at all. If you could make things with cliche angles, you'd be ahead of 99% of artists. All right, people, time for me to run. Thanks for hanging out while I poked at this a bit. Let's leave that there, and I gotta run. Enjoy your days, everybody. Enjoy your days. Take care. Goodbye, Jason. Goodbye, Graven. Goodbye, Irrelevance. Goodbye. Okay. How old is this piece? I don't know. I think I did it last year. It's hard to remember now. There's a video that this one illustrates from a while back. I think it's Most Important Skill for an Artist. If you go look at the date on that video, I probably did the painting like 2 weeks before that or something like that. Actually, you can see the date in the video. You can see it in the top right. Bye, everybody. Bye, Necroval. Bye, Mohammed. Bye, Whoopty. Bye, Leibzor. Goodbye, Danny. Goodbye, Shad. Goodbye, Alvin. Goodbye, Life Cycles. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Node. Goodbye, Ignite. Peace. Good luck with your art.